Hi friends, I'm Jenny and this is Jenny's Light Within. I've come down to my favourite Billabong. I wanted to share it with you again for those of you that have been here before because it's a special spot. This is my place where I come to contemplate, to get still, be with nature. It's surrounded by trees and birds, and there's even koalas in the trees, which is pretty cool. And I could feel that today I just wanted to do a bit more of a normal video, if there is such a thing, because there's been quite a few different videos coming out of my channel lately, which has been a surprise to me too. So I wanted to just come on and just chat a little bit about my journey for anyone who's interested. You know, those who are meant to be here will be here, and if it doesn't resonate, that's great. You can check out some of my other quirky videos. But I like to check in and share because it was the original download that I was sort of given from my higher self, as it were. I mean, I don't know. We can call it what we want, but there's a knowingness that when we get still and we get quiet and you really feel into your heart, there's this space that, you know, we can access. All of us can, I believe. I've learned how to do it as well, and it's just where you get the direct answers that feel like a solid yes, you know, like really in your heart space. And I think I've touched on this in other videos before, that sometimes it takes removing the baggage before we get to the point of being able to access that, you know, like our hearts can be quite dampened with various belief systems and emotional baggage that hasn't been surfaced yet. It's sort of clogging up the flow of the chi in our bodies. But we are all capable of accessing this wisdom, this higher wisdom that we have from all that is, or I think our higher self is connected to that. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know, but there's more to this life than just this 3D physical reality that we see. Anyway, I'm rambling. I can feel a ramble today. I tuned in a few months ago now, and I was in a spot where I was just feeling like I wanted to step more into my purpose, into myself, and to just be able to show up and to take action. I've struggled to know how to do that in my world, and I have many different interests and many different skills, and my logical mind trying to combine them and figure out what it is I'm supposed to do with them is just a mess. Really, it's been messy, and it's been ego driven, and it hasn't been very fun. And so now that I've been walking in newer ways, and there's always room for improvement, but I'm just better than I used to be. And now that I'm better than I used to be, I have this ability to sit in stillness and really get that knowledge and that wisdom of what it is I need to know. And I was given the very direct message that I needed to be showing up on this channel, on my YouTube channel, reignite it and show up and share. And it felt like such a solid, I've got to do that. So I listened, and I was really scared because I think I've mentioned with lots of people, I haven't really done the social media thing. I've been off of that and in my own little bubble, in my own world. So stepping out onto the stage, as it were, even, you know, not quite the stage, but you know what I mean, publicly here, where for anyone to see, anyone to judge, it was a bit of a big move for me. And I didn't really know what it was I was to share. Like, what have I got to share? You know, the doubt creeps in, like, what do people want to know from me, and will people even want to listen, and all of that stuff. But I still did it anyway. I thought, okay, I'm just going to share in that same space, like connect to that space that told me to show up and share, and whatever comes to that space, it will flow and it will come out. And it has been just such an interesting and wonderful and fun experience so far, because these creations have been coming out of me that I had no idea were in me. Like, I didn't know that I was going to play music. My last video, I just had this idea because I've got all these songs that I play the guitar, you know, okay, but I also play the piano and I write lots of songs, but I don't necessarily always record them. And the amount of songs that I have forgotten over the course of my life, and I'll go back through journals and see and be like, oh, I vaguely remember this, and I just don't remember, like, unless it's sort of, if I've recorded it or it's a repetitive thing, I struggle. Even my album that I made, Love and Let Go, the link to that is in the description, Jenny McGregor on Spotify, and it was an album I made after my son passed away, about the journey of my grief. And even some of those songs I've had to relearn. I had to play one at a memorial service for SIDS and kids, and they asked me to play a song, and I had to relearn my own song. So it's beautiful that I could relearn it because it's recorded, but a lot of my songs that I just make up all the time just go off into the ether and get lost. And it's one of those things, as I was saying earlier, I've got all these different skills and things I'd like to share, but I've never really had a way, or never really known how to. So I just got the idea, I could, that song, Come Back to Your Heart, I could sing that, and I could have the guitar, and I could just put my message in there, and just all these ideas came out of nowhere. Now that would not have happened had I not just taken the first step and just has gone, okay, I will show up here on YouTube, not really knowing what I'm doing, but I'm going to show up and I'm going to share. It wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have had that inspiration. It just wouldn't, because I was sort of thinking about videos, and because I've done a few videos, the videos where I've used my music from Gen Zen, also linked in the description on YouTube. Really not trying to plug my music here, but if you want to listen, that's where you can find them. They're all on Spotify. But that, I wasn't planning to use that either. And I had sort of an idea about my song Enough, and and dancing and combining all the things I love, which is dancing and speaking and expressing myself. I used to be a clown doctor. I've done many stage shows over the years. I love to perform, but this is different. I don't feel like I'm performing. This is me fully showing up and performing as me, the authentic me. And that seems to be the whole message, because I thought, what is the truth behind what I'm doing here? Like, why I'm showing up and sharing, and it's starting to unravel, and that's why I wanted to come on today. So I've started with a real ramble there and a rant, but this has been such a beautiful journey of growth already for me, and it's only been a few months, and I now have 48 subscribers. Now, in the world of YouTube and the world, online world, that's probably abysmal, right? It's low numbers. I get that. I am so stoked. I'm so stoked to have you here. For whoever chose to subscribe and to watch some of my things and give me some thumbs up, I just want to take a moment right now at my beautiful special spot to thank you, genuinely from the bottom of my heart. Like, to have even one person think that they would want to join me, was going to be special. But I've had a heap of you, and to have 48 people already and climbing my way up to 50, I'm stoked with that. That's great, and there's no expectation on this for how it has to go. And I know I can do way more promoting. I've had someone tell me I should do something on shorts, and it's, for me at the moment, it's been a time factor. I've been committing to getting a video up a week and seeing what comes and seeing what wants to flow through, and it's working at the moment. We'll see what happens in the future, but I just really want to thank you all, if you're here watching and this is resonating, or just for your support and for joining me. Yeah, it makes it so much more fun having an audience. And I was going to continue regardless, but yeah, it's really special and wonderful to have you here. And I just want you to know how grateful I am. And so, to come back around to the point I was making before about starting to really understand what this whole journey of me showing up and sharing is about, or what I feel it's about, is a big part of it. I think there's two parts. The first is, I think it's about showing up and sharing authentically, as I have been guided to do. But I feel like that is the message for all of humanity at the moment. We're all being asked to show up more authentically than we have before. It's time, it's time for us to crack out of our cocoons and spread the wings and show our different colors, and I think for a long time on this planet, there has been a lot of programmed, sort of conditioned ways of being, and people, and collective thinking and collective ways of doing things, and and worried about judgment, and I sense that more and more we're being asked to just move in the direction of our own hearts, hence my song Come Back to Your Heart, and just to show up authentically so that we can mirror that back to everyone else, because authenticity breeds authenticity, right? And we all are just mirrors to each other. I've said it before, we're all one collective, consciousness really on this planet, this big fishbowl. I know we're all individuals and we get to have our own experiences and our own choices, but we are, even the planet, we're all one big organism, and so we're all in this together, and what affects one affects the other. And so I feel for a long time on the planet there has been a lot of negativity, and there has been a lot of spreading of that, or spreading of the bad news, or spreading of the hate, or the dislike, or whatever, all the sort of negative stuff. And I can put my hand up, I've spread a lot of negativity in my life. So now that I am better than I used to be, I am learning that it is just so much more fun and free to just show up as me, authentically just me, as I am right now, and to share that with you all. And when I think about the message, this is where the second part comes in. I feel like the message that at the core of it, I was trying to tune into it during my meditation the other day, of like, what is the core? Like, what? Because the part of me that was doubting and questioning when I had the message to show up and share was the part that was going, well, what do I know? And it's true. What do I know? Like, what do any of us know really in the grander scheme of things beyond this planet and, the all-knowingness? Fine, we can know things, bits and pieces from our world, but on a real grand scale, like, you don't know what you don't know, right? And so I was scared, because I thought, well, what have I got to share? But now I realize that what I have to share is unconditional love. That's it. And my messages, will come in various forms, and they might come in various creations, and with music, maybe sometimes not. I don't know what's going to come, because I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. But I do know that I am full of love, and I think it's what the world needs. Now, it's just me, but as I said before, there's been a lot of negativity spread, and we are living in a world where there's a lot of distraction. And this thing here, as much as it's been a wonderful tool for me, it is a distraction, the phone. We see everyone stuck in their phones, and I do it too at times. I said I was off social media, but I can scroll through YouTube myself, and there's some amazing people on there, so it's a good platform. It's just about choosing the balance and choosing wisely what I'm listening to and consuming. But that world of distraction's not going anywhere, right? It's here to stay. And so it's so nice for me to just plonk on into it here on my little channel and just spread unconditional love. The bird agrees. It just feels like the most authentic thing I could do, and that's not everyone's message, and it doesn't matter if it is or it isn't. There's, like, everyone's here for different things, and everyone feels different things, and I know you know that anyway. I don't need to tell you, but I just want to thank you for allowing me the space to be here as I am, and share my love, and share my wisdom. And I do have wisdom, and sometimes it will come out, and that's cool too. And share my silliness, and share my music, and whatever else. And I'm really excited to see what else comes. I said that in my very first video. I was really excited to see where this led, and I could feel the bubbling, and now I'm experiencing it, and it's so good. So if I can be any inspiration to anyone watching, if you're not already listening to that wisdom or the guidance that you've been given, if you've been given some or you've got this feeling that I just would want to be doing, I feel like I should be doing this, but then there's that doubt that creeps in, just do it. Just jump in and do it. Even if you don't know what you're doing, just give it a crack, because you don't know what you don't know. And like, the joy and the fun and the miracles that come from you just stepping boldly into onto your path is magic. It really is. And it's what we're here for, right? There have been so many little miracles along the way, and little things, the synchronicities and little bits of abundance that were needed are coming when they're needed. And yeah, it's just life showing me that when you trust, it comes. you know, like that. But it takes trusting to find that out, right? You have to walk in trust to then realize, oh, it did work out. But you can also do that if you look back at your life and you look back at, you know, everything, even the really hard stuff, and where you are now. Like, you know, somehow it always seems to work out. And I know that might be triggering for some people, but I just always come back to my experience losing my son, you know, like that really was the worst thing that could have happened. And I'm sitting here, you know, in a pretty peaceful place, feeling really good, feeling grateful, glad to be alive, having fresh creativity running through my veins, fresh inspiration, sunlight on my face. Oh, it feels so good. You know, like, I get to be here and have all of this, and you know, I could have written it all off back then, and I did at the start. You know, I thought life was over, but it's not over. It's never over, and every challenge and hurdle can bring with it beautiful growth, and it can spark change sometimes that's needed, which can also bring the gratitude, because I'm grateful for the changes that have happened in my life as a result of my son's death. And I wouldn't ever wish for him to pass. And of course, you know, it has all the heartbreak with that story too, and all the grief and all of that's real. But, you know, there's a hell of a lot of blessings that have come from that too, in my life, and things that I wouldn't have experienced to the depth that I do now had it not been for him and that whole experience. So when I say, you know, we look back in your own life and, you know, it always kind of works out, it really does, you know. So when you go to the present moment, and if you're working with something right now that you think, oh my God, how's this gonna, you know, it's never gonna work, and the fear's coming in and it's trying to tell you like, no, you can't do that. Just don't listen, because it's not true. It's not real. Like, it always works out, even when it doesn't. Well, that's my experience anyway. And that's my message. I didn't know that was going to be my message, but I'm chucking that one in there today because, yeah, maybe someone needs to hear it. But to wrap up, I just want to once again express my gratitude for you being here, express my gratitude for this experience and all that I'm learning. I mean, I'm editing videos. I didn't know how to make videos a few months back. I had to get on iMovie and learn, but I love it. I love the process, and even having to, like, you know, get my music video going and get the music synced with the video, you know, but I was learning, and it's, you know, it's great to keep learning, you know, we should never stop learning. So it's wonderful to be able to learn new skills, and who knows what else is going to come from this. I can only imagine, but I'm so happy to be here, and I'm going to keep showing up and sharing in whatever way flows through me, and I hope that you join me because, yeah, it's cool having you here. So with that, I'm gonna just send you a bunch of blessings and abundance and love and gratitude through the phone. And yeah, I hope that wherever you are on your journey, you know, you're leaning into your heart space and listening and just being kind to yourself. The bird once again agrees. And trust in yourself and your journey. You know, that's the ultimate act of self-love, is trusting in your path. And we're all here to just show up as us, as who we are. And so as I sit here just in the beauty of all I get to be and all I'm getting to create and share, I reflect it right back to you, my friend, because there is so much within you also that wants to be shared, and that probably is being shared, I'm sure, in your daily life. And so thank you for that. And I honor you. I honor you and your journey and your path and your authenticity. Yeah, here's to you. Well, I'm going to leave it there for now, my beautiful, peaceful Billabong, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a beautiful day.